The others is about a woman who lives in 1945 in an old house with her two children, and her husband was killed in the war. And the story starts with when these three servants arrive to the house and they're introduced to the children, and Grace explains this disease the children have, which is they can't be exposed to sunlight because they would die. I like to play with metaphors in my films, and in this case this disease, photophobia, helped me to tell the story about darkness, about light, and about how these children who live in this dark place discover something which comes from light. Well, I started it 3 years ago, just for fun. I wrote the script and I sent it to my producers, and they really liked it. What I tried to do was a film with some kind of classical essence, and trying to bring back all these horror values from horror pictures from the past. Suspense is, I think, the most important thing in the film. Tom called us and we were introduced to Nicole. And the first thing that impressed me was her eyes. I thought that in the past, in many films, I had seen her, but I couldn't see her incredible eyes, which I think it's very, very important for characters in general, and especially for this character who's trying to make out things. She can be very strong, but at the same time she can be very fragile. That's one thing that she insisted on perform, which I think was very interesting, which is crystal, trying to play crystal, something that can be very strong but that could break at any moment. Nicole added to the character two important things. I think one was the realistic aspect. When you have this character, which is a woman who lives in an isolated house, we've seen that in some horror films before, and sometimes it tends to be a cliche, and Nicole tried to play it in a very realistic way. So she does need all this background for the character to be inspired by it, and you can really feel that this woman was real. You can feel her and feel for her. And the only thing was that she tried to play the fragility of the character through all these tasks she has in the house, opening and closing doors, taking care of the children. You can really understand that this woman is living in a very, very troubling situation, and you feel sorry for her. I just think she's a great actress, and I think it really helped the movie, and the character really became stronger and richer with her performance. Well, in the case of the children, it was my first time with children, and especially in English, so I was very scared at the beginning. Gina J, the casting director, was working for, I think, almost half a year to find the girl, which was a very important character in the film. And we found the kid very easily, very soon. And what we thought we would need for the girl was something which was who would be able to face someone like Nicole Kidman and wouldn't be scared of her and really would take the risk. And I think Alekhina was perfect because she's very honest and she's very strong, and she's very subtle, which is good. It's not this kind of girl who is talking all the time, you know. She knows what she wants, and she can be very focused. Well, the three servants are the cicerone in this story. They are there to make this woman understand things that she can't understand. Mrs. Mills is a character who will never know. I mean, at the beginning she's very nice to the children, but then she has also a dark side, which is something that I like in characters, when they have different sides. And so we can't really find out how she is. Mr. Tuttle, he always seems out-minded, miles away, thinking in his own things. And we chose Eric Sykes, which is a kind of legend in England, and because we thought that he could give this sense, this air to the character. It was great work with him. And the mute girl, who's played by Elaine Cassidy, she's a very, very shy girl who of course can't speak, and because we will know that there was some kind of trauma, something that happened to her that make her become mute. Yeah, you can find in the music these two sides. Part of the music is just there to scare the audience, and some other part to move their feelings. And I'm really especially happy with all the adagios, which I use for Grace and the children. And I think that brings up another kind of emotion for the audience, which I think is very important.
Sometimes the world of the dead gets mixed up with the world of the living.
As you can see, the housework has been rather neglected since the servants disappeared almost a week ago.
Do you mean they just vanished?
Into thin air.
How do you do, children? I'm your new nanny.
Are you going to leave us too?
Why should I leave you?
The others said they wouldn't.
What? Is Chrome crashing? Hello?
Oh no.
Oh no!
I think the others got Sheen in it.
I think Chrome is crashed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Too scary.
I'm just gonna reload.
Oh snap!
We're gonna reload.
Sometimes the
Oh
world
no!
of the dead
Oh no.
gets mixed up with the world of the living.
As you can see, the housework has been rather neglected since the servants disappeared almost a week ago.
Do you mean they just vanished?
Into thin air.
How do you do, children? I'm your new nanny.
Are you going to leave us too?
Why should I leave you?
The others said they wouldn't, but they did, and then it happened. Why have you opened the curtains? It was Victor.
You told your brother that there was someone else in the room.
There was.
That'll do, Anne.
I've seen them too. Sooner or later, she'll see them. Then everything will be different.
What do you want?
They're everywhere. They say this house is theirs.
Children!
Come here!
Run!
Can't you hear it? There's someone there.
Here it is, Alex. She's gonna say the line. She's gonna say it.
Where is my daughter?
Are you mad? I am your daughter.
She said the line.
She did it. Ah!
Toronto, Cannes, Berlin, and Sundance, everybody chat about. Good movies, chat about. Good movies, chat about. Good movies. Good movies. Good movies.
Oh, hello, and welcome back to the Good Movie Chat About, where we have good chats about good movies with good guests. I am Bobby, aka Lord Goo Goo. It's my nom de Twitch. And if you are watching this later on the YouTube, please do like and subscribe, or else you are not. I don't have time for you. You know what? That's it. That's all I'm going to say to address you, because I'm going to get to my lovely guest, one of my oldest friends, the very first guest on the Chat About, but also that's not his most recent appearance on the stream, of course, because his triumphant performance as radio announcer and Southern lawyer in the
as well as operator. I
as
did
well-
have a few lines as operator.
operator as well. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you did extensive character bios for all the characters, so I'm sorry that I shortchanged operator there. But yes, from Flight of the Falcon, also available on my YouTube. Look, folks, it's Alex Kliner. Alex, welcome.
Hi, Bobby. Thank you so much for having me on this wonderful, spooky themed month.
Yes, it's
of
Spooktember.
horror.
It's Spooktember.
Oh God, that's the scariest month there ever was.
It really is. I don't know why I have you over here so far. Don't ask me about this cropping. It's all good.
No, I like it. I'm not looking at it, but I can tell my face is flipped, and I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know,
looking at you. Can you swap me? Can you flip my video so it looks like we're looking at each other?
Okay, sure. Hang on.
Yeah.
I can definitely do that if I can ever. Yeah. Okay.
We're using the features of the platform.
That's
and
right.
We're
Hey.
there. Now it looks like we're having a conversation. Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. I have to move you over. One second.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Post up. Here we go. Yes.
Okay. They say that's deep fake. That's not, bitch.
They say it's AI.
Yeah, AI could never. Bye.
I do want to call out down here. I do have a special alert for bits. If you donate at least 10 bits, I have a very special movie-themed alert. That's it's a movie. It's a part of a movie. But I think people will get a kick out of it if they wanted to donate 10 bits. But that's it. That's the only sell I'll say. Alex, we always start with concessions. You know what I got because I got up to get it after you were on the call. But my unsweetened iced tea, one of my favorite go-tos. And you know what? Credit, Alex was always on the unsweetened iced tea because we've known each other for too long. And
For we met each other 3 years after this film came out, and after the towers came down.
That's right.
Really?
Where were you when the world stopped turning?
Still in high school. Actually, I wasn't even born yet.
Also, on the old show, of course, Alex, the Good Movie Chat About, the legendary, we did a 9/11 themed episode, because actually I think it was on 9/11, and of course there was Come From Away, the 9/11 musical that we could watch, and we did so, and now 9/11 was this past week, so I always have to have you on around for 9/11, because you're just really, plugged into that event. I really associate you with it.
I'm just never forgetting is one thing about me, is that I'm never forgetting.
That's right.
That's the only thing that's happened that's noteworthy, that's bad, is that recently it was 9/11.
That's right. Well, yeah, certainly. We have to say, I hope Martin Noakes is having a good day, or a good week as well. Wherever you are, Martin Noakes, we love and celebrate you. Alex.
And also, Martha Plimpton, wherever you are, we're celebrating Martha Plimpton.
At all times.
Mariah Carey.
Sure.
Nicole Kidman, especially.
Mariah Carey was she was one of they were bringing out all the old stars I didn't watch, but I, of course, saw a bunch of shit about the VMAs. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't watch that. I didn't realize was that always at, was that the Radio City Music Hall? No, wait,
It used to be at Radio City Music Hall. Is it in LA now? Is it in,
No, wasn't it at, the arena?
In
New York.
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, is that right?
That makes sense. I mean,
I just remember that, because I was scrolling past clips of it on YouTube, that was the one thing that stood out, is I was like, oh, I don't care, but I am seeing maybe there's a different venue.
Lady Gaga was late to her New York concert because she was accepting Artist of the Year. Can you imagine? Artist of the Year, though. Lady Gaga. Talk about somebody whose entire career has happened since we've been friends.
Yes.
We've seen the whole thing.
We got to see her spin out and deliver incredibly alienating interviews and performances in such films as House of Gucci.
House of Gucci.
And now we've seen her take her return to form and give us the pause up style little monsters bangers, and also like a kind of about face. Did you see her? Did you see her hot ones?
No, I did not.
She kind of makes fun of the Gaga of
if there's
before.
one, whatever's there's a million people, there's one person in the room or whatever. Is that what she was saying about Bradley Cooper? Is that what that was? I remember that whole thing. But they were probably fucking as well.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah. I mean,
in any, yeah.
It was just when we all watched that performance at the Oscars, and people like, you're gonna say they're not fucking. Those are people that are fucking. Like, I've seen people that are fucking together before when they're actively fucking, and I mean, not like. Wait, sorry. Let me take that back. I'm not Brian Quimby. When people are have a sexual relationship in general. And that's very much a going exciting thing. That's how that performance felt to me, I should say.
You could feel the chemistry
For sure, yeah.
That it supersedes just two performers at the top of their games, and it's gone to the realm of the loins in many ways.
That's how it felt to me. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, they both did. They were both in marriages at the time, and then I think neither of those marriages are still going concern. So I mean, whatever. But they also weren't together. So what are you gonna say?
Well, shout out to them. You know, if they're in here, go ahead and pay those 10 bits. Get that new.
Everybody, please pay the 10 bits if you want to see something funny. Yeah. I actually am a big fan of A Star Is Born. I actually really do like that movie.
Which that specific one, or like
it's the only one I've seen. I actually haven't seen the Barbra Streisand or the Judy Garland either, or there was even one more before that, or whatever. But I liked it. I thought that what was impressive about it was that. It was a good facsimile of our like reality and media landscape. Like when he pisses himself at the Grammys, it's like this feels like something that could happen, and like this is how the reaction would be, type of thing. Or when she's performing at SNL and stuff, and like it just kind of has a nice. And like the whole, and then like the really magical part of the movie where she gets like carted away and brought to Coachella or whatever, and brought directly on stage to like sing the song. It feels like a fairy tale, but it's like rooted in reality, and that's like a fun thing. I mean, I think that was the whole magic trick of Anora. That's why people loved Anora. Is it was able to straddle both of those things.
We're all kind of instinctively and on like a very subliminal level yearning to get kidnapped and taken to a better place.
Yes. Take us away from here. I don't know what that's about.
We all kind of just like want to be like going about our business, maybe like making an Amazon return to like a Whole Foods or a Kohl's or whatever your local return spot is.
Yeah.
And then a large black SUV comes, black bags us.
Yeah.
But they're like, but instead of like, oh, we're taking you to a black site, they're like, we got to get you in glam. We got to get you on this private jet because you need to perform your big song with your boyfriend in front of the queen or king or whoever's alive.
We're all yearning for the stretch limo to pull up next to us on the street and say, "Hey, you! I just wanted to get another look at you. Get in here. I'm gonna make you a big star or whatever." Like,
because you leave that grocery store. You know, you got to get in the car. I might not be perfect, and I might pee later, but we're gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be good for you ultimately.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. But Alex, I know that. So you watched this movie last night. What was the most recent movie you saw before that? Can you remember?
You know, I rewatched The Apprentice with my house guest, the like Trump Roy Cohn movie.
Oh yes, yes, that's a good movie.
Because it's like such a fun. It's such a fun way to do like historical political drama. Yeah. Like barely political even, but like it had a whole tone that was like, I don't know, it really worked for me. And also I know Jeremy Strong is a tough cookie evidently, but Jesus Christ,
I'm not judging them on their personalities. I'm judging the acting and the thing I saw. I don't care if he's a prick in person. I'm not hanging out with him. I'm watching his acting.
Now here's like something that I think I can bring up in front of you, as we both were in a very good college production of Angels in America nearly 20 years ago. So we really know this text inside and out.
Yeah, there were some performances where as many as a dozen people came. It was crazy.
I mean, up to 30 of your castmates' aunts, all there at the matinee to go to dinner.
A 2-intermission, 4.5-hour show. 7 people in the first act, 5 in the second, a few in the third act.
And what they don't realize is that that's only one half of a much bigger show.
And that, yes, and this is actually part 2. Also, you're not getting part.
You're going to have to come back.
There's another
dinner,
cast.
I'm sorry.
Part 1.
Or else you're not supporting AIDS research or the LGBTQIA plus community. So yeah, and you know what? That theme has been explored beautifully on the television comedy, The Other Two. But what I wanted to tie that all back is that there is a continuity of writing of dialogue for the Roy Cohn character that Tony Kushner did like 30 plus years ago in 1990. Or whatever he wrote Angels in America.
Yeah.
And it's like the exact same.
It fits right
writing.
Along. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like the Roy Cohn cinematic universe. Like the character does. I completely agree. I felt the exact same way watching it. Was like part of why I liked that movie so much was because of loving the Roy Cohn character. I mean, the character.
He seemed fun.
Yeah, I know, such a good guy. I mean, it's just it's like by far, I think there's a lot of great things in Angels in America, and you know, you might find it pretentious or a lot going on or whatever. But the Roy Cohn character is such an amazing showcase for actors, and it's a really great, interesting, self-loathing type of character that is and that seems like it's because that was accurate to real life, or at least this movie continues that conception of him. I loved The Apprentice. I really did. That Jeremy Strong did win the Bobsker for Best Supporting Actor. He did.
And big, huge congrats to Jeremy Strong. I know sometimes he likes to tune in and see what I'm up to. So if he's out there, really wishing you the best.
Bobsker's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
I was just getting it engraved. So.
Well, you have to. I recently learned that at least at the Emmys, which are coming up, you don't get your trophy engraved until you go to the after party. So that's a little bit of Hollywood tea that
I know that for the Helen Hayes Award that you don't get that for like months. It's like several months until you actually get your.
They're going to have to do a fundraiser to print it on the piece of glass, and then you get that usually next year. And you're also often invited to donate it back. to keep theater going.
Yeah, it's like your program.
Right. But to answer your question about, and then the last film I saw in theatres was Weapons, which I quite loved.
That would have been my last one I saw in theaters. Is that correct? I believe so, yes, as well. I also loved it. I loved that so much.
Yeah.
I mean...
We wish him the best. We are talking, however, about a movie that is none of this. What about... Yeah, so you saw that one.
Yeah. And I saw that. Did you see Eddington?
I have not yet. That's on the list.
I saw Eddington the day before I saw Weapons, and even though they're not like direct, like in the same world,
no, they did feel.
There's a
similar.
way that they actually do kind of echo. Although that one is much more like. You have to just be ready to kind of see a version of reality that's also like distorted. I mean, like it's a lot. Did you like Beau is Afraid?
I loved the idea of it, and I loved that it's like a triptych with Midsommar and Hereditary. I found it not as enjoyable to watch.
I quite loved it because I find it very funny. I mean, it just has like it's like the most horror like version dialed up of like a Tim Robinson almost kind of thing of like just how much directly like pouring salt in your anxiety wound as much as he can and just keep going. And then once it's all salted, then just like poking it really hard and then pouring some acid
Bo should have
in
said
it.
to those people in his apartment, I think you should leave.
Yeah.
But instead, he had to run away and go on an
and then they all crashed. Yeah, they all destroyed his apartment instead. And then, and then he did get struck by Amy Ryan driving a bus. And then the girl did drink the paint, and then
she drank the paint up. She ate that. She ate
that. She ate.
And then Bo had to run because it didn't go well. And then
he's in the woods for a play. There's a woods play.
And then all of a sudden you're in a dark ride in the water and also at jail maybe.
Well, yeah, but you skipped the part with Patti LuPone, of course, which I love. Oh, and we also skipped Parker Posey, who's incredible in that movie and has one of...
Because they do the theater. They go by the camp.
But also, my favorite line in a movie of the past... of this century is forever Parker Posey immediately post-coitus with Bo. When she's her line that she says right at, I don't want to even spoil her if people haven't seen it, but just thinking about it makes me laugh.
Will you DM it to me?
Yes,
because I don't remember it.
So hang on, look, how do I get to our chat? 1 second.
You're using the platform tools.
I'm using Discord. Okay.
Okay, everyone, while he types that up, I can tell that he's typing. This is another great part of Discord, which you should have on your computer. You can use it maybe to talk and keep up with friends or access hate speech or anything. Okay, it's still coming in.
Okay, I had to give a little bit of context to what the line exactly meant.
Right. I know, I do remember that.
And it's very funny.
Right. It was a big moment for Bo.
Yes, and then exactly, but then again, just like the anxiety, like worst fears just constantly getting realized and stuff. It's just so funny to me. Like that's why like I loved it, but it's not exactly pleasant.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I totally grant that. But Eddington is not like that as much as, but it does kind of, play around in that recent past moment that we're all so fond of revisiting. But I think that that's part of what it's having fun with. Is that like,
now is that a film I should see in large format, such as at my local cinema, or can I kind of wait to watch that on house television?
I personally watched it on TV. I mean, I did love. One of the things I loved most about it is that as somebody that's been watching all my old movies and stuff and some westerns, even the western's not like my favorite genre, but I've been getting more and more into some of the classic westerns, and just some of the cinematography in the movie is like classic western, but it's like modern town that still feels like an extension of that. It's like an extension of that classic American story and genre. Which also reminds me, Alex, that I'm going to talk about what I watched this week.
Please.
So, Criterion Channel, not sponsored, but I would love to be. They are doing a celebration of Robert Altman this month, and so they have a bunch of his movies on there, most of them. And so I've been watching through some of the ones that I hadn't seen yet. Actually, hang on. Let me go to my Letterboxd. So because that will help me determine. I'm all prepared. Okay, so since last stream, which also, Alex, did you watch? Because I talked to you about highest to lowest, right? I went off about this last week.
Yeah, I did not. I was unable to watch that stream, but you had privately intimated that it was perhaps a skip.
Well, a skip or a watch to laugh at, because some of the dialogue and stuff is, and also just some of even the direction is just so lazy. Like it just seems like at times actors are just told to just go stand anywhere. Just like it feels like people are just kind of like, I don't know. It just feels like tossed off both the script and then like Denzel's good, of course, because he's Denzel. Like he's not going to be bad, but at the same time, it feels like Spike Lee was just banking on, well, Denzel will make this good, and it's like, I don't know, Spike. I don't know. Anyway. So the Altman that Abby and I watched actually last Saturday was Dr. T and the Women. Do you remember this movie, Alex?
I don't.
So it's from 2000.
But it sounds a little draggy.
No, actually, I loved it. I mean, so it's.
No, but I mean, like it sounds like
drag.
Dr. T and the drag queen.
Yeah.
I wanted to say see you next Tuesday, E, but I don't know what your audience.
Oh
is.
no, you have the pass. You have the pass on the season.
Well, you know,
I'll
some
say
might
it's
disagree,
cunty.
but it is cunty. Dr.
Cunty.
T and the women is very
Brave.
cunty.
I'm saying cunty for free speech in honor of free speech warriors.
In honor of only recently was there a 9/11 remembrance, and that's the only world historic kind of event.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna give just one preview. We're gonna give one for free. We're gonna give just one for free, so that people will. You won't be able to hear this, Alex, but here.
Okay.
Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
Rest now, brother. I'll see you in Valhalla. So if you wanted to, anybody wants to tip 10 bits, we'll see that again. But I'll give that one for free. So anyway,
first one's always free, folks.
Dr. T and the Women.
Yes.
It stars Richard Gere, and then he's basically the only major character in the movie that's a man, because he is a gynecologist. So he has, and his daughter Kate Hudson is getting married, and his other daughter Tara Reid is they live in Dallas, and she does JFK assassination tours, and she's into conspiracy theories. And his sister-in-law is an alcoholic, who is Laura Dern, is an alcoholic mess who's living with them. His wife, Farrah Fawcett, is having a mental breakdown and has to be institutionalized because she gets naked in a mall and plays in the fountain. That's the first thing that happened in the movie. And his head nurse and office manager, Shelley Long, is in love with him secretly, and the new golf pro at the golf course where he goes to, Helen Hunt, he's falling in love with. But yes, so there's all these things are happening, and it's about him and all these women, and it was really fun. I quite liked it.
That's on Dr. T and the Women.
And that's Dr. T and the Women. And then the one...
Okay, I'm adding it to my notes.
And the one after that we watched was also interesting. I didn't like it as much, but it was still really good, is Pret-a-Porter, which it means ready to wear,
I love their little cafes in New York.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about that too, because I'm like, oh, sure. Ready to wear, pret-a-manger, ready to eat. Right, okay, sure.
Yes.
And that's learning French through brands. And but Pret-a-Porter is I don't think you haven't seen Nashville probably, but you know what Nashville the movie is about, Alex? Do you know Nashville? Probably Robert Altman's biggest movie. So that's one that you should maybe watch, because that is all about country singers in 1970s Nashville, and about it's the bicentennial, and there's so there's all these sort of things happening, and it just kind of jumps around all these characters, and it all kind of builds to this big concert at the end, and it's a really great kind of ensemble thing that looks at different sides of that music industry and people around it, or whatever. And so he's made a couple of other movies that are kind of like that in their approach, and Pret-a-Porter is like that for Paris Fashion Week and stuff.
Okay.
And
love.
Yeah, and it had a fun cast. He was able to get really big actors. Julia Roberts is in it with Tim Robbins, and all of their scenes are in a hotel room. So it's that's how they got them. Is they're unit set, one set.
Oh yeah, no, honey, we're gonna we're gonna bring the cameras to you.
Right.
We're gonna just set them up at where you sleep at.
Everything's in the hotel.
That's exactly, I think, how they did the that Shia LaBeouf, Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones movie.
Yes, yeah, I remember that.
Where this is the beginning of Harrison Ford's you bring the green screen to my backyard, and I'll give you a few poses, and then you edit around that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, he actually installed a mini the volume. You know about the volume?
Is that wraparound scenic thing that everyone's
they just film against
is shooting in front of?
Yeah. He had one of those made in his garage, so that he could.
They said, what if we did green screen but
real,
made it more real, that the fake picture is exists.
I mean, but it like makes total
because you can light it and you can,
in total intuitive sense for the actors that like your actors actually seeing the thing will give you a better and more honest reaction than having
I
to
don't know, Bobby. You and I hold bachelors of arts degrees in theatrical acting, and I if you can't make it work with a tennis ball,
I have a green screen up against me right now. Hang on. So okay. So let's say put me in a scenario, and I'm in my green screen right now. So and I'll act it. Where am I?
Okay.
This is improv.
Okay. Here's your tennis ball. Okay. Right? Watch the eye line. This is an angry customer, and it's going to ask for a refund, but it's going to sprout teeth.
Okay, it's like an alien. Okay, cool. Alien monster.
Yeah.
Sorry. Actually, all sales are final, so we don't have refunds here. I could possibly give you a coupon. No! I'll give you a coupon for store credit.
There it is. That's a scene. That's exactly right. So
that's right. I'm getting a little green screened myself, as my cousin Kira points out. Just a little bit because of my Sunday in the Park with George shirt, of course.
Finishing the hat, honey, where there never was a hat.
And that's on red, orange, orange for the blue, red, march for the blue, green, circle on the diagonal, yellow, comma, yellow,
what's that from?
Sunday Park with George. That's what he's doing. Red, orange, red, orange, and he's doing the different colors as he's.
His lyrics.
Yeah.
It's Sondheim lyrics.
The Follies, George. Oh, CEO of Hollywood is in the chat. You know who that is, Alex? That's a troublemaker. That's
who?
That's Richard Heen himself talking to. That's Harrison.
No.
Yeah, that's Harrison. That's Harrison.
No. Oh, hi, Harrison. Thanks for jumping right on in, pal.
The last. Oh, so I also and so Pret-a-Porter though I always heard, and Harrison, we were just talking about Altman. I don't know if you were tuning in about how I really liked Dr. T and the Women, liked Pret-a-Porter, and Pret-a-Porter I'd always heard is like that's one of the lesser ones. That's like it's all right, and I liked it. I was like maybe like even the bad Altmans are good. And then I watched a movie called Quintet from 1979 starring Paul Newman, and that was also directed by Robert Altman. And that's when I said, okay, well there goes that theory, because that movie is bad.
Look, Robert. Who was it?
Robert Altman.
Randy Newman. The star.
What? Paul Newman.
Was it the salad dressing guy?
Yes.
Okay, he was busy with salad dressing.
I mean, the truth is that they were both like just probably getting high, and it seems like except where the Altman movies that are really good are the ones that feel like a good time to make. So like Nashville, Shortcuts, like The Player, like these movies seem, even MASH, like these movies seem like they were fun to make. And this was filmed in Montreal at the the World's Fair, World Expo like center, like 9 years after that convention, so it had like been run down, and so they had some of the old decorations up and stuff, and it was like it's supposed to be like a frozen tundra world, and they filmed it in Montreal in January, so it was so cold. And so I'm like, that seems like just actually miserable to film, and the movie felt miserable. And what they did to make it feel like a frozen over world, I had to look up why he made this choice, because it was driving me fucking crazy. I was spending the first 15 minutes of the movie going, why does it look like that? They took petroleum jelly and literally they around the rim of the lenses so that it would look like
they literally did a Vaseline lens
for the entire movie. So it was just like a center was clear and then everything was like blurry on the sides, and I was like, this looks so stupid. And yeah, that movie was not good.
That's how you used to have to shoot women getting bad news or
right. Well, that was at the beginning. I was like, "Oh, is this a flashback?" Because I was like, "If this is for a flashback, yeah." He was really like, he's like, "It's too fucking cold. I am going to get the finest weed and just smoke so much to try to get through." He's like, "What if we like smeared some shit or on the outside. But you know, we love Robert Altman. He's one of the great.
Look how far he's come.
Well, no, he's passed away. And then the last movie that I want to talk about that I watched this week is a really amazing film noir from 1943, directed, Alex, by Fritz Lang. Metropolis and lots of other, you know, classic silent movies as well. He had a great Hollywood career as well when he fled Germany and came to the U.S. And this movie is called Hangmen Also Die, and he co-wrote it with a guy who in the credits is credited as Bert Brecht. Bertie Brecht. Bert Brecht.
If you know, you know.
Abby, the cat wants to be let out. If you want to, please let out the cat before he causes trouble. Bert Brecht. And it's 1943. The war is still actively happening at this time, and it takes place in Czechoslovakia, occupied Czechoslovakia, and it's about there's the resistance, that movement or whatever there. At the very beginning of the movie, like one of the first things that happens is one of these Nazi officials or officers or whatever that's in charge there is assassinated, and then the guy is like that does the assassination is like being held or is hiding, and they like kidnap a bunch of the people that are just civilians and say that we're gonna kill 10% of these people like every day until he turns himself in or whatever. And that's what the movie's really about, is about this guy like trying to, and then also all the people harboring him and saving him, and then basically like covering up for him, because it's and so what I loved is in that classic Brechtian way, it's about how actual resistance is a group effort and about not complying with unjust laws and officials and such, and it's got a really, what I loved most about it is there's lots of Nazis in this movie, and of course they're all very like hilariously cartoonish, like evil, like they feel like Colonel Klink, from Hogan's Heroes or whatever, which I never watched, but I just know that I know the cultural reference. I only know it because I saw what's the movie with Greg Kinnear, the Paul Schrader movie. Is it Confessions of a Dangerous Mind? Or no, that's the George Clooney one. Autofocus.
And Dangerous Minds is Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's right. No, it's Autofocus is the one I'm thinking of. Great movie. A really funny, weird movie. What was I talking about? How did I...
Girl, I don't know. If I were to guess, it was 1940s occupied Czechoslovakia, and I bet you're going to say, and just around the corner in Europe, in the UK.
No, we're not.
What I'm guessing.
We're going to get to the movie after I finish talking about Hangmen Also Die, which I'm finishing up right now. The Nazis are like almost like Mel Brooks, like producers level, like jokes of like characters, but who the movie has the most contempt for is the one guy who is Czechoslovakian, who's like a collaborator, who's like pretending to be on their side but is informing on them, and he's the one who sort of like gets the most comeuppance, gets the most, and it's like that is such a Brechtian thing to both and it like gets into a lot of nuances of what it is to be like in an occupied place and like to live in this sort of reality, but it also like it says like it's a shared, it makes it like a message really clear. It's a propaganda film, but for good. So I really recommend this movie to people, especially now.
Okay, I'm putting it in my notes app.
You don't need to. I mean, I'm more talking to the viewing public. Hangmen Also Die. Can't recommend it enough. I loved that. That's my favorite movie I watched this week. So Alex, you're back on the stream. When I had you on for the first episode, I wasn't sure how I was going to do like movies on like just like choosing movies for the show. And so you were very generous to come on. I was really testing out what this show even was, and so I assigned you a movie. You didn't get any choice in the matter.
But now I can't find my notes on that one.
That's
I had
okay.
it.
We don't need to talk about Yakiru. I mean,
no, I think we already did that.
Yeah. But it was great. It was a great talk. But, you know, you did express, you know, that you perhaps would have liked to have had some say in the decision. So for this one...
No.
I mean, just that... Well, ever since then, though, I have tried to talk things out with a guest about what we could both be excited to talk about. And like... you know, I'll throw out options, but I'll say if none of those work, I can keep throwing out options forever. I don't care. My favorite thing is picking the movie to watch, actually, and that goes for when I'm picking a movie to watch and like just thinking about what we could spend the next 2 hours or whatever doing, or what I'm going to spend in this case, you know, a week, sort of trying to immerse myself in a bit. That like. We'll find something we're both excited for eventually.
So is this not the case for you with the others?
Oh, no. This was something that we had talked about because... So now for this month, though, of course, is Spooktember. I should have had like a special background or something. I don't really care. But
that's okay. The popcorn's haunted, folks. If you're looking at the backdrop, know that
yes,
the popcorn is haunted.
And also, this is the movie theater from the beginning of Scream 2. So... So Jada,
one of the most memorable screams.
Yes, the one that they rushed out less than a year after the first one. Yeah.
You know, I remember Scary Movie too. That's the best scary movie in my humble opinion.
No, that was the exact same. That was the exact same situation though too. That also came out less than a year after the first one.
But it's so fucking funny.
I feel like some of
funny.
The rush in it and that one. Like, you know, sometimes it leads to sloppiness. Sometimes it leads to, like, fuck it. Any idea you're throwing out, we're doing. So we're going to parody a basketball commercial nobody remembers, but it's, like, part of the movie or whatever.
But Regina Hall, much like the star of the movie that we will perhaps, we'll get to, she pulls it all together.
Yes.
For everyone.
Oh, she's the best in those. I mean, her and Anna Faris
she's
are
absolutely
the best.
Yeah, I mean, Anna Faris is great, too, but...
Yeah, no, they are the ones that really are why those movies are still.
I'm gonna shit on these walls, Ray. You
know? Yeah. Well, and that's also, you know, this era, 2001, is what we're talking about. But this month I wanted to like focus on because horror is so broad. It really is. Like the fact that like this movie is considered a horror, but like so is Weapons, or so is like, you know, Halloween. Like they feel so far from each other, even though they're both like they have the central premise of you maybe want to get scared if you're watching this or whatever. Like you're kind of looking for that. But Ghost Stories is such a specific flavor of horror that I wanted to spend some time in this month. And so I was like, I gave you some options, but I was like, but any other Ghost Story movies? And something, because I thought about having you on earlier, and I still want to have you on again, because the movie actually I would love to talk with you about is my favorite Nicole Kidman movie, To Die
Australia.
No. To Die For. Gus Van Sant's To Die For. You've seen that one, of course.
I don't believe I have.
Oh my god, Alex, you have to watch To Die For.
I know, you gotta, if I knew, you gotta give me like a quiz. Or like
well,
so I can study.
It's got young Joaquin Phoenix. It's Matt Dillon is her husband, and it's based on like a real lady, but like it's completely fictionalized, and it's just a very great script, and her performance is batshit and incredible. Like, and this is why. So we're talking Nicole Kidman today, folks. So I was like,
of course we are.
I think did you suggest the others first? But it was also one that I had thought about independently. We came to.
No, I feel like we kicked it back and forth, and I think I mean this is months ago. I feel
it was a few weeks ago.
A month ago,
yeah, it's a couple weeks ago. But
time moves fast, you know.
That's right.
But yeah, no. I feel like I've had a long appreciation for this movie, and I feel like
I remember
so do you.
Did you own it on DVD? This one.
Likely.
Because I remember...
Likely, but also a roommate we may have had
maybe it was...
years ago also very much likely had this.
Right, so because Alex and I lived together in college and then again in Chicago, so, we borrow from each other's DVDs or whatever frequently.
Yes, physical media.
That's right, back in the day. Which also, actually, I should say that about a year ago, I think, or so, the others did get a Criterion release. And there's currently a 30% off sale on Criterion for 4K discs. So I was rewatching the movie today for the second time this week, and I was like, you know what? Place that order.
And for the rest of you, a way you can watch it also, because it's not streaming free anywhere, if you can begin your 1 week free trial of AMC Plus.
Yeah.
And then you can try to watch this and then all of Mad Men again just to get it back in in a week, and then that's going to be free. You might lose your job, lose your family, lose your sense of self, but you save $10.
Just like Dick Whitman. I actually bought. It was like a really quick sale for the complete series of Mad Men. It was either $25 or $30, and I was like,
"That's so worth it."
I was like, "That's too good of a deal." That and my bedtime show though right now is, speaking of spooky times, is Twilight Zone. I watch a Twilight Zone classic era.
Oh yeah.
It's a great.
That's I feel like that's like watching YouTube, because you're getting that. Well, you're getting that nice, transatlantic narration at the tops and throughout, and then you're getting that really kind of heightened acting.
It's good economical storytelling. It's also structured beginning, middle, end, like literally around the commercial breaks, and it's just always a good. It's always, there are some bad episodes. Usually the ones where they're trying to be really funny are the bad ones.
they're trying to be what?
Funny. There are like funny ones. Funny. And those tend to not be good. But there are some real amazing ones. But the ghost story that we're talking about is The Others, which you mentioned just before we started, likely benefited from another movie that I was thinking about doing this month, still might, The Sixth Sense, which of course was a huge hit in 99, that would have been, I believe. So this is 2001, just a couple years later. Yeah. But really, even The Sixth Sense had some jump scares. It had some gory makeup and things, and some effects. This doesn't have nary a special effect. It doesn't have somebody getting axed down or gore. I guess there's
some costume and makeup effects.
Sure.
A few practical makeup effects, but no, it has not even in camera. This movie is so much more gentle on the horror devices, like jump scares and all that, then I remember it. I remember it being a lot more scary of a watch. But what it is pure. It's great, and and there's stuff, even if you know the twist, which who doesn't. There's stuff to get out of it each time, and there's themes and stuff that I didn't immediately glom onto at first, like religion and stuff like that kind of present themselves on a rewatch.
Well, when I watched it earlier this week, I think on Wednesday, was my first time watching it in 20 years at least, so long, probably maybe when we lived together we watched it one time, so I didn't. I remembered. So I'll say, if people are watching right now and you are somebody who is bothered by knowing twists in advance, this is a fun movie to see without knowing the twist. We'll try to talk around it for a little bit, just to talk about the meta of this movie and how it did and stuff. But we will be talking all about it, because that's sort of what it's about. But also, knowing the generality of what the twist is, still got a lot of fun watching it, not remembering the specifics of sort of how things worked, or the relationships of everyone. And then once I watched it again today, just a few days after, and I did understand that more, it made me even the rewatch appreciate it even more, because I could see the different motivations of the characters, or understand them a little better, and it's totally recontextualizes in a very fun way.
and the relationship to like light in this movie, like it's interesting because
it's a part of the story. It's written
once
into
you literally know what's happening, you know that people come to it, especially that the three people in the family, Nikki Kids and her two kids, Nikki and kids. That it's clear that especially the daughter is more knowing at the like earlier and that they're all playing this very tender, gentle game with mommy's emotions,
because mommy can be set off. Mommy is like a time bomb. Yeah. It's
really spectacular, and it's one of those movies that I wrote this down. It would make a fantastic play because it is
small cast, unit set.
It's all you need. I mean, like really, you could, and it's the horror and the motion of the like audience's emotional
and
kind of journey.
And you know what
through
she do, Alex, is the moment where she tries to escape and she like comes, a curtain comes down below her that's all gray, and there's also just like fog everywhere, and fog and dry ice and all kinds of shit, and then from the audience comes out like center stage or however up onto the stage the husband, and he's back, and she hugs him, and then blackout, intermission, come back, and what's going on with that.
Okay, yeah. There it is.
This is how Alex and I think and talk. Also,
this is how we do it.
We've immediately conceived it for the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it works like so. It's just so
because that's like
so
the
good.
only moment that she leaves the house, like really, and it's like she doesn't get far. And I mean, like they're like, yeah, she's going into that fog. She's not gonna get anywhere.
She gets all the way to the gate, and I just remember it's like she's immediately pulled back by. Now we're in like the run out. Now we're in the seance, because she hears her daughter screaming. But she gets all the way to the gate after her husband, the minister daddy from Leftovers, and a younger, more like angrier, umami twink.
A former timey-wimey Doctor Who, Christopher Eccleston.
Yes.
Though I don't know anything. I just know that he was one of the Doctor Who's. I don't watch Doctor Who. I don't know Doctor Who. I don't know Doctor from Who.
She gets to the gate of her mansion, the grounds, and like kind of leans up against it like bars, and it's like very clearly a metaphor for like a prison. Like, I mean, very like, yeah, she did bad. And she's being punished, and she doesn't realize that she's in prison.
And it starts off with like her teaching the kids, like again, starting in the religion and like the religious education, talking about limbo and stuff, and the kids being scared of limbo, and it's like because they are in limbo, like you got into so there's a whole built into the narrative of this movie is that these children are super allergic to light. They can't stand any real natural sunlight. They can't stand light harsher than candlelight, which is perfect. They can only exist in very spooky light. They don't even have electricity. It's 1947, but they don't have electricity even at the
a radio.
Right, and they also
nor a telephone.
It's in the Channel Islands, which are between the English Channel between France and England, which was occupied by Germany in the war, which is sort of like just set dressing with the war that her husband has gone to fight and not come back from.
Right.
I did want to point out a couple things about the sort of how this movie came to be. So you may have noticed in the executive producers, in addition to, we do have Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein. It is a Miramax release, so we do have them in the credits. There's a lot of movies with those names in the credits. We're all just gonna have to deal with it for the rest of our lives. It's fine. But
also Project Runway.
Yes, and
Harvey Weinstein.
Terrible.
If you watch early ones, Harvey Weinstein is like gets his own title credit.
And his wife is one of the judges. Georgina Chapman becomes one of the judges, and now she's with Adrian Brody, and he's throwing his gum to her from the stage of the Oscars. Anyway,
yeah, everyone behaves very well in public.
Another one of the executive producers on this movie, so keep in mind, this is 2001, Tom Cruise. Now, they get divorced in 2001, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. But he probably still retains his executive producer credit because the director and writer and composer of the score of this film, Alejandro Amenabar, that's what the accent, gotta observe the accent, Amenabar.
Thank you for
Amenabar. This was his first English language film. He was a big Spanish director, and the movie that he made before this was a movie called Abre los Ojos, which is an amazing movie. It's really good. Open Your Eyes, of course, which Tom Cruise bought the rights to adapt and made Vanilla Sky, which he starred in as well. Tom Cruise also then connected him with Nicole Kidman. And so she was a part of this movie and how it got made and stuff, is that he was going to anchor it around her. And oh boy, what an anchor she is. This movie, part of why I was excited to talk about it is because I feel like it doesn't come up. It's not like Sixth Sense. It's not like these, or I feel like What Lies Beneath gets referenced more than this movie, which is a fine movie, but like this is a really great movie. And it was, and the thing about it is that it was a huge hit as well. And really on the strength of Nicole Kidman alone. Like, it would not be that huge of a hit. I think this is the same year, or was it just before? No, it was the same year as Moulin Rouge. It was the year before The Hours, so she was really like in her bag at this time.
But it's like we really don't know when these are, like, especially like Moulin Rouge. I mean, Eyes Wide Shut, I think we can assume was made before this because of the Tom Cruise of it all. But like Hours, who knows when these were shot in comparison to each other? I mean, we have the release dates, but like that kind of early aughts Yankee Kids, she was just working.
But I think this was like summer release, and it was #1 for multiple weeks in the U.S. It was a huge hit in Spain, where the director's from. It like won all the big Goya awards, which are the Spanish Oscars. So, and it was the first, and to this I still think only entirely English language movie to ever win the Best Picture of the Spanish Academy Awards, the Goyas.
Oh, really?
Yes, because the director. But really, it's Nicole Kidman that makes this thing a huge, huge hit. And I think that this is part. I mean, Abby was pointing this out before. Part of what, like, her becoming like, oh no, this is A-list, bankable star. You can put her in a movie and it's a hit type of thing. And yeah, especially this is, I think, one of her best performances.
But it's also not just like A-list, like, acting.
Right.
The way that, like, I don't want to, you know,
like a Reese Witherspoon or like,
but I'd say it's closer to the kind of leading performance one might expect from Meryl Streep over a Zendaya. It is,
which is interesting because The Hours is the year after that, and I really feel like that was also the cementing, because Meryl Streep was already that bitch. Of course, everybody already knew that, but then like Julianne Moore and Nicole Kidman obviously were also very, very, and it was like that's like cementing their status as well. Julianne Moore the same year did Far From Heaven as well, which was also like sort of about the same thing, and another huge hit. So like really like cementing their status during this time as, you know, the big actors of their generation, which like Meryl is sort of a slightly earlier generation, but she just also she transcends generations. She's all generations.
I mean, she shows up literally as a one generation older person in Big Little Lies, but like you know, when they show and Reese, to her credit, is also in that one. So
that's right, as is Nikki Kidd and Laura Dern, another
connected dots.
That's right.
You know?
It's all connected, and Zoe Kravitz just as
yes.
Actually, I like Zoe Kravitz. I like her in. Did you see Kimmy? It's kind of good. It's not amazing. No, it's kind of good.
I liked her as herself in The Studio on Apple TV Plus.
I should watch that.
It's a comedy. It's I mean, you know, I think it's great. Yeah. Especially in comparison to what's out there for television comedy.
Now I wonder, is part of why this movie got memory hold, because I've been thinking a lot about this. I've been listening through the Blank Check podcast doing the Coen brothers, and I was just listening to their episode about The Man Who Wasn't There, which also came out in 2001, a black and white movie starring Billy Bob Thornton that didn't set the world on fire, but I like. And they talk a lot. That movie came out, you know, just a month or two after 9/11, and so it's like the things that what was doing well at the time, and how people like were having trouble like finding the movies that would connect, and why like that Lord of the Rings was like such a huge movie was because it was such an escape and such like a big like at that time. And so, you know, it's interesting to think about that. So I wonder if there's like an element of 9/11 happens and we don't want to think about the media from the summer before. We don't want to think about, like, I don't know, like did we forget the others because of 9/11 is what I'm asking. I'm just asking a question.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm genuinely the wrong person to ask this, because I have never forgotten about the others, nor have I forgotten about 9/11. I never created space in my brain for both things to exist as big smashes.
Yeah, well, and that's the way to be. I mean, we don't. I do think it's interesting that it was such a huge hit, and it is great. It holds up. But yeah, you don't, and I guess it did get that Criterion release, but even still, I don't see it getting the love.
Well, okay, here's the thing: is I don't think because I like horror more than like, I think the average person in my like out in LA, my kind of like gaggle of like writer creator friends, right? Like I like horror more than, you know, I have people that I respect very much that write that would refuse to watch something because it was too scary,
right?
And I will never be that guy. I like to run towards horror at least a little bit, and I think that this movie is just way too gentle to have kind of gotten the cult love horror gory kind of thing of like true horror fans. It's like it is, if you really think about what happens in it, and what the characters are all there to do and what they do, it is a kind, gentle, very sweet movie filled with, I mean, every bad thing that happens, you'll find out, is like where the movie picks up in the kind of aftermath of that. And not in the action of the movie. It's like a very gentle drama.
It ends on a kind of hopeful note, especially as like you've recontextualized. Okay, we're going to talk about the spoiler now, is that of course they're all ghosts the whole time. So the end of the movie, the kids seeing, oh, we can be in the light, we can do this, and it's like, we are going to stay in our house. And the only thing is that, like, okay, they wouldn't have been good, but if they made some sequels where it's like, they're staying there, but they have to try to scare people to leave or whatever, but also now they know better, like, how to, like, or something. That could have been fun. It wouldn't have been good. Like, it would have been trash, like, but I still kind of want to see it.
You would, I mean, that's interesting. I would actually kind of, I think, want to see if it was like a Conjuring style franchise.
Sure.
But of like the kind of ghosts in residence having to like kick out their new monster of the week, but they're the living people. I would want that from like from the house, the servants more than Nicky Kids.
Right.
With the Nicky Kids and family, I would almost imagine more of like an anthology, touched by an angel style thing, where like each week a new group of people have to like find out and come to terms with their own death. But I think that sounds familiar. Is that a thing? That might be a thing. I don't know. But yes, regardless, Nicole Kidman, they're basically all there to help Nicole Kidman deal with the fact that after learning that her husband,
died in war,
the lanky daddy from Dr. Whomst and The Leftovers, now as a much like younger kind of like angsty twink, he passed away at war. And it drove Nicky Kids to madness, and she smothered her children with a pillow and then shot herself in the head with a shotgun. Now, that said, like, what's cool and gentle and sweet about this movie is that we don't see any of that. We get to watch Nicole Kidman realize it over the course of some time, and then turn a corner, win back the love of her daughter, and confine her become like 10 toes down on her new status quo, which is she's dead in a house with her 2 dead children whom she murdered, 3 lovable servants, and they're making sure nobody moves into their house because it's their house. Her dead husband has to go. He walks right back into the fog.
But she gets
and
to
goes
be
back to war.
like, and then you think about it, like then they all, once they learn to accept it, she gets to be with her kids. They get to be kids forever, and then she'll just get to kind of like, I don't know, and they don't have to be scared of the sunlight anymore, which is nice.
She gets closure, and I mean, I think they nod to it by kind of insinuating she just needs to be like fucked once by her dead husband, and then she can have closure on that whole marriage.
Which, by the way, you're talking about like, so not only like is there no gore or anything, but like I was like, I actually had to double check, is this movie even PG-13? And like, of course it is, because I mean, when you find out what
children,
you can't make a PG-rated movie where even like a plot point is finding out that she killed her kids, like
starring a family annihilator that you're rooting for.
Right. So yeah, but the only other thing is that there is an implied sex that she has with her ghost husband that happens entirely off screen, and then we see her naked back at one point, and that's it. It's like.
It is kind of like the horror in that, like, it's just very gentle, but you know, like he does give her a good kissing up and down.
Oh yeah,
we do get to watch that. It's very, very erotic.
Well, gothic horror is a real, like, it's a real genre. Like, it's, I mean, that's like Frankenstein and you know, Dracula even are forms of gothic horror. Speaking of, I'm excited for that Frankenstein movie. Look good. So yeah, it's like that's going to be more of a romantic era, like and feeling in general. Yeah. So what I love about this movie as I was watching it more is it really ties into the lineage of ghost story movies that I'm like getting at with this whole month. Specifically, last week we watched and I talked about John Carpenter's The Fog, which features heavily in this movie as well. There is so much fog, and also. That movie is about a curse on this town, which is an isolated coastal community, which has a dark past that needs to be uncovered and reckoned with, or whatever. And it's very different, and it's an entire town getting like haunted or whatever. But it has the sort of similar roots, and they like come from similar like vein of storytelling, almost of like a ghost stories, which are cool. Ghost stories are cool. I love ghost stories. I don't believe in ghosts, though. Do you believe in ghosts, Alex? Actually?
No, I mean, it's hard to say because there's like many different kind of like conceptions of what a ghost is. No, not like. I have not seen any evidence that would suggest like a supernatural entity is occupying the same realm as me and attempting to be dead around me.
I believe that we ascribe meaning to things. And I also think that there's a real thing of like keeping people alive through like memory or like talking about stuff, and that can kind of create a sort of thing. But that's all coming on our end. I don't really believe that there's another plane, which with this movie really presents. I love how they present what being a ghost is that like, you know, they don't see the others who are actually the not dead, the undead or not yet dead, including Catelyn Stark, I should say, from Game of Thrones.
That's what I knew she looked familiar. I was like, what?
She's from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
She's the one that's like, we gotta get out of here. We have to get out of here.
Victor, my cursed child, look away from the window. We must at once away.
Very creepy child. But yeah, so those visitors, what was I talking about?
Well, you were just talking about how like it's, and I think what you're saying is that it's like kind of a haunting story done from the different perspective, which is the people that we're spending all our time with as viewers end up being the ones haunting because they're the dead ones, but yet.
And the reason...
We spend the first 2 acts thinking that they're being haunted by ghosts. They are the ghosts haunting. And they're being haunted by the living people who have moved into the house.
When you rewatch it, knowing that twist, it almost feels obvious a lot of the times. You're like, how...
Of course.
Like, because I do think this tricked me to some degree. I mean, like, you may even be suspecting this as a possibility, but it also then will throw different red herrings and things to kind of throw you off. And I think that, like... the way that they treat the living, right, is like ghosts, is like, because you can just hear Victor something, and only Victor, and Victor's the only, and I think that's also really interesting, is what, like, children in this movie, like, it's the children that, both sides, the dead children and the live children, are kind of more able to see each other, that there's like a kind of, I don't know if that's tied to like innocence or what, but that's also interesting to me, but that you only hear them or like see the result of things they've done, like removing the curtains, but like they aren't able to actually see them, except for the daughter eventually can.
Right, and then they all do, and then there's that seance. And
right.
what's really clever about this movie structurally, I think, is that we've seen a zillion scenes of like people doing a seance, and they're sitting around a table, and the table starts shaking and shit starts flying into the air. And this movie very cleverly stays on Nicole Kidman as she runs up to these people having a seance, trying to convince them she's not dead by shaking the table up and down. It's like, oh, it's like the making of that kind of like ghost trope. Yeah. It's like what's happening on the other side of that.
And so the seance is interesting too, because in my little bit of research about this movie, I learned that and I can't wait to get the Criterion and actually watch all the special features, and he does the director's commentary as well. So this guy, Alejandro Amenabar, he is like a child prodigy at like picking up all kinds of like instruments, music, taught himself, doesn't read music but can play like instruments or whatever, and scores all of his movies, including this one. And gay man that was raised Catholic, and then eventually like very like religious mother, like sort of strictly religious, moved from Spain to Chile right before Pinochet happens and all of that, but as a teenager, he actually does attend a like seance type thing with his mom, like sort of religious nut type thing, and it leaves a really strong impression on him. So it's kind of interesting that then like he puts this in this movie, and he also was described as just like a very kind of frightened child who was like, because of his very religious upbringing and like Catholic schooling and stuff, like was really kind of shaken like by a lot of the mysticism that's in there. I wonder if you connect with any of that, Alex, as a boy with some Catholic, some time at CCD yourself.
No, I don't know if I personally connect.
I don't know. Not the seance aspect, but like the.
No, but I mean, like I connect with the idea of like a weird gay person who started their career in music and then switched to writing, and now does both. I think that's cool.
You should watch his other movie. Aubrey Los Ojos is amazing. I mean, if you've seen Vanilla Sky, it's the same story. In fact, Penelope Cruz plays the same role in both movies.
Okay, so here's the thing about Vanilla Sky is I always confuse it with. I like fundamentally don't understand. Like, can't remember any differences between that and Magnolia.
Oh, they're very different, yeah.
I know they are, but they're like 2000 Tom Cruise movies that I like. One of them's I know really long.
Yeah, Magnolia. Yeah.
Okay. And that's P.T. Anderson?
Yes. And that's the one that's an ensemble cast where our Tom Cruise is actually a fairly small part in that comparatively, but is.
And he's the Tony Robbins.
Yeah, respect the cock and tame the cunt. I'm quoting the movie. I'm quoting the movie. Harrison
like
giving the smile.
Long,
it's
right?
like
See, that's
Harrison's fave. I do love it, and I love the music of Amy Mann, and so there's a lot of that in there as well.
So what's Vanilla Sky about?
What is Vanilla? It's like about a dream sort of reality. Hang on, let me kind of get a good way to describe it, because let's Aubrey Los Ojos. Yeah, it's the intersecting planes of dream and reality of like a guy that it's like basically allowing you to like control your dreams, and then it has to do with like disfiguring of your own face, killing yourself, more or less, and it's, it's really trippy, and Penelope Cruz is beautiful. It's a good movie. So yeah, and he also directed the movie with Javier Bardem that I haven't seen, but it's one of my mom's favorites, The Sea Inside, which is about a quadriplegic man who basically is an advocate for euthanasia, basically. It's based on a real guy. So that's another one that he directed. And he has a new one that just premiered at TIFF, I think maybe even this past week, that is about... So it's apparently about young Miguel de Cervantes, the writer of Don Quixote, being kept in prison and having a gay love affair. And it's like going to be a big yaoi movie about Miguel de Cervantes. People have said it's good, so I'm excited.
And that's Dr. T and the Women.
And that's on Dr. T and the Women. So let's see. What else did I have to say about this movie? Oh, so her waking up. So the very beginning of the movie is her waking up screaming. And I kind of wonder, is that the moment of her waking up from being dead? You know what I mean? Is that her waking up as the ghost, actually? You know what I mean?
I do think that, yeah, I think that there's like a lot of, in this movie, they're very generous about like kind of smudging the lines. Like you don't have to... You don't have to know that that's the first moment, but it lets you kind of fill in those choices for yourself. And I would say that's a very strong assumption.
Yeah, and I think that, and there's other things like, and does she just confuse the timeline? Like all the servants left overnight or whatever. Does that happen when they find out that her husband died, or does that happen after she's killed everybody and that's why they all leave and she's like, why is everybody leaving? Or because they all leave overnight? No, never mind, I just figured it out. It's because when they go into this plane, it looks like nobody's there now, and so it's everybody left overnight because they're in the new undead plane or whatever, where it's just the 3 servants that died of tuberculosis. Maybe.
Right, and that's those 3, right?
But also, to your point, none of this matters. It doesn't matter, really. It's just if you want to fill it in, you can kind of
basically, the downbeat is Nicole Kidman and her children are alone in a house, and it's a little confusing. And I think like that it is very like expressionist, deliberately, like how time works, how the weather works, what type of day it is, like how because they are just in this like afterlife, and they are visited upon then shortly after by 3 servants who she believes answered a call that she put in the newspaper for help around the house, and then she finds out that she never sent the classified ad, and she's like, what are y'all doing here? And they're
it's
like,
almost like she couldn't send it. And then it's like, well, we actually used to work here, years ago.
We just came back. We know the house well. We're looking for work. Don't stress, Mama. We got you.
She's like, well, this seems too good to be true, but let's do it.
Yeah, and you feel the whole time like because here's where you said that you don't remember if you figured out that Nicole Kidman and company was dead till the reveal. I would say that I remember, and I think many other people that I've talked to about this movie at the time, remembering that the best kind of thing to keep you off the trail of that is that the housekeepers are all dead, and it's their graves that are discovered, and it's this, that, and the other. So like that you think that they're being haunted by their own staff, but really their own staff is there to help them like get used to the idea that they're dead.
Right. No, and I think that there's it's like exactly they faint towards these sort of other things, and so exactly, you're like, oh, so these are the ghosts, and they're trying to make them leave because they want to come back to the house that where they were ghosts or something. Or when the dad does come back and you're like, well, he's a ghost. Like, I don't think I ever thought that he was alive, and I'm like, so now maybe are ghosts able to come visit or something? Is there something about the house where like but I never really thought the first time that I watched it, well, clearly they're all already dead. So.
Yeah, and that's especially like fucking impressive, given that 2 years before, I See Dead People like really just kind of exploited that big twist. Like
one of the biggest movies of the past several years before this. Yeah.
You thought you'd only get the one that, you've been dead the whole time, but no, they gave us 2, and I thought it was quite successful.
And managed to make that satisfying, because that could just as easily be like, oh, fuck, it's another one of these, but it actually feels narratively very satisfying and good.
Yeah.
Even if you
suspect...
Also,
the world is so much more contained, like it all takes place in this house. They're not out, like, kind of getting to the bottom of things, and, like, it's much more subtle.
Yeah, well, while I was watching it, I was like... it sets the scene really quickly, and I'm like, what fills this movie out? But it doesn't feel like long or anything. Like it does, like it's so engaging, and even though it is this really small cast, shout out Fanula Flanagan, as Abby would be mad if I didn't shout her out because Abby loves her in this movie too. But as the nanny is so good. She's perfect.
Oh yes,
as like you're saying, like that gentle guide of like, and also the way that they treat Nicole Kidman as like we said earlier, kind of like a time bomb that like has got to go off. Like they know that they have to be like gentle with how she finds out about this. Like they're really like deliberate about that in a cool way.
Right, and it's like almost like, you see them kind of shoot looks, or you see them demur kind of as time goes further in the movie and we're getting closer to the reveal, and you're like, oh, she's being gaslit. Mm-hmm. Then you go back and you like look at it and they're like, oh, these people are just doing their best to make this lady feel okay about being dead.
Yeah, well, and Abby kind of says, she knows just a little too much in a way that makes you uneasy, even though you trust her. You are kind of like, how does she know so much? And she does put you at ease, and she does seem to have just like, she wants to take care of everything, and it's not really a malevolent force, but you are at the same time like, but how do you know everything? There's something going on, clearly. Yeah. I
wanted to...
No,
I just wanted to jump back. We touched on it, but I wanted to jump back to that conversation that she has with her visiting ghost husband in the boudoir. And one thing that I really noticed this time, over the last time, is that she switches verb tenses a lot. About I loved you, your place was here. But it's like, and it's like, that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier about how like, that's what I started noticing. I mean, I think an average audience enjoyer will say the husband definitely dead, especially by the end of his scene, of his like arc on
right when he's like, I have to leave, I have to go back to war, and it's like the war's over, and it's like, well, I can't ever leave it actually because I'm forever in the war.
Great job of like the Forever War is going back to the meme wars, but he's like that they introduced the idea of
limbo?
No, for kids, limbo. Yeah, kind of early on, and I think that's maybe like a baseline assumption where it's like, oh, this weird space where like Nicole Kidman and kids are
they're
being visited by ghosts.
Yeah, and the other really interesting thing about it is, like, he's very happy to see Nicole. Well, not happy. Like, he's in a very... Something's not right with him, and you're like, well, is he traumatized from war, or is he a zombie ghost thing? And it's like, well, yeah. But he goes to see his children, and he's very happy to see them, and they're, it's very joyous. But then he, like... You don't see what the whole conversation they have, but you see him just go into their bedroom, slam the door, and that's when he just, like, lays on the bed. Because his daughter tells him what happened, which is perfectly structured narratively, because between Nicole Kidman going to actually talk to him about that is also when the I am your daughter scene happens, where this old lady, we find out, is like a medium who is trying to reach out, is actually possessed, which is cool that they even like put in a line about it in the seance scene, sort of explaining what happened from their side of she sees her daughter, she thinks it's her daughter playing, but then she sees she's got a really old lady wrinkled hand, and it's an old lady saying, I am your daughter, and then Nicole Kidman freaks out and just like bashes her head on the ground a bunch of times and like attacks her, and so
rips her first communion dress.
And so that's what Nicole Kidman thinks he's talking about at first when he's like, she told me everything, but then he's like, no, what you did that day you went, and then they've sort of like made light references to it, but then this is when they start really hearing more about this day that she went completely crazy and she went off on the kids, and to me, that's like him realizing that it's like him connecting that they don't know they're dead. Specifically, she doesn't know that she's dead, and so that's why he can't stay. Kind of it's like, oh no, I know I'm dead. I need to go be where I need to be, and you need to work this out. Like, I can't be the one to like because especially since he's sort of the source of how that all happened. Like, he can't be, like, he has to go. It's such a cool little diversion too, because The other thing about him getting there is, yeah, it is so creepy. It's so weird. It's like, how do you think that he's still alive? But even though it seems like it should be more obvious, it actually causes her, like, up until that point, she's starting to question things. She's starting to think there is ghosts. She's starting to think this. And then once he arrives, she completely reverses and starts yelling at her daughter again for claiming that there are ghosts and all this stuff. And it's like, that's when she really gets in denial, is at the moment when it's like, and like you're saying, she's talking about him in the past tense. She's like already kind of accepted he was dead on some level. But that's when it's like clinging to that fantasy, that sort of the thing that she couldn't let go of, that caused the whole tragedy, that caused all their deaths to begin with. Kind of, it just destroyed her world.
Definitely, couldn't agree more.
I'm sorry, I talk so much. Is there anything else?
No, but I completely agree with you. I just had a couple of little light thoughts.
Yes,
that
I actually
when I was high on marijuana watching this, and I was using edible style marijuana, and I ate it, and then I became elevated, and that's how it works.
It worked good.
And here goes number one. Why do the children give Sally and Bobby Draper? And I don't know how to explain it, but they do. So, and that's also available on AMC.
Well,
so
because
go ahead and
she's
sign
older.
up.
She's the older and wiser one, and he's kind of just like the little innocent one that doesn't seem to have as much going on. So it's the case.
Oh, also, and just like on the kind of strength of these child actors, they're quite good. I thought it was nice that they even had room in the script to like make a moment where like the little boy becomes brave and climbs down and the sister is proud of him. Like there's like a character development moment in that I'm just like, oh, yeah, we don't need it, but cool. Another observation I had, high observation, was that this movie, especially upon like maybe a 7th or 8th viewing over the course of my life, it gives me the same washed over kind of ambient feeling as The Crown. But not this, which does not, and I am not given that feeling by Downton Abbey.
Right.
I don't know why. There's something different in there.
Another movie that this made me think of, speaking of Robert Altman, is Gosford Park, which is written by Julian Fellows, who would go on to make Downton Abbey, but an incredible film, and
he got it right in Gosford Park.
Yes,
and then Downton Abbey won't go away.
But that like the servants in that, like, and it's also in Downton Abbey. When I did watch it, I loved the servants way more than the rich people. They're way more interesting always. So having that dynamic as well is great to play on, and it's also like a classic trope. I mean, Amenabar was very influenced by a number of like classic films. The Innocents, I don't know, but I want to watch that one. And a lot of Hitchcock, the movie Rebecca, which is also about a dead woman kind of haunting a house, but it's not she's not actually a ghost haunting. It's more like the spirit of what she left behind, kind of like tearing everybody apart. But it made me think that. And Abby and I were talking about this, that Nicole Kidman would have been such a good Hitchcock lady. Like, she would have been such a good, like, Tippi Hedren, or, like, put her, like, The Birds or something, like, get her in there. Vertigo, like, let's do a really good Hitchcock style movie with Nicole Kidman.
And I'm sure many stars of modern day could probably dive into this style of acting. I also think that, like, the reason I think gay guys, like myself, really just like...
And Alejandro Amenabar, yeah.
Annie, Nikki, Kitty. Just like, if you follow me on Instagram, which you should, at Kliner, know, like last night, I was clipping some of my favorite moments, and that would be like 40 seconds of Nicole Kidman opening and closing a door.
Yeah.
But like registering 1,000 different feelings about it just in her eye. No one acts like that anymore, because I think no one writes like that, because no one's seeing that kind of movie. it has this like very nostalgic.
Well, she's like a classic like beauty, like like all the best like biggest stars you can think of, going all the way back to the beginning of film. She's like right in there. But she has, like, the character actor instincts. Like, she wants to make, like, the big choice. She wants to, like, find the extremes within that. And also the extreme bigs. And also she's great at whispering. And, like, being really, really small and contained as well. She can do them both equally so well.
She takes, like, the magnitude of, like, a head of... Like, just a big, crazy lady performance. And then she smushes it down and puts it right in her eyes.
I really think, Alex, you should watch To Die For. You should watch To Die For.
It's on the list.
It is. You would have so much fun with that one. I mean, because it's her being like, speaking of Mad Men, like she's kind of trying to enact like this sort of American woman ideal, and she's like just so sure of herself that that's like who she is and who she's meant to be, that like she's psychotically focused on anything that disrupts that.
Will you hold my little pinky real quick so I can hold space for the idea of what if Nicole Kidman played Betty Draper? It would be a different show.
Yeah, but she's way too big for that at that time. But yeah.
No, but I think they would have to make Betty Draper a bigger, like, Mad Men would change.
It would have totally changed the show, that's for sure. Actually, but you know what? Yeah. But the Betty Draper part is much more, actually, speaking of, the type that Julianne Moore had created with Between the Hours and Far From Heaven. That's really, especially, like the Hours, like her story in that, right? With like she's making the cake and like whatever. Like that's so much Betty Draper, especially in like the first season when Betty Draper's like her life is perfect, but she's losing feeling in her hands and she doesn't know why or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think I'm holding space for that. I do think she could work as a Betty. I just think they would have to write Don Draper off the show and just turn the whole show around.
See, I could see her as like a Rachel Menken type of character to come in as like a powerful.
Yeah, but that's a season or two. We need get the. I mean, she couldn't be a Peggy Olsen. No. She couldn't be a Joan.
She could have like in like 20 years before, like 10 or 15 years earlier than the show came, maybe.
But there just isn't. I mean, I guess there is ingenue in Nicole Kidman. I mean, it is. It's hyper ingenue, and
Joan is supposed to be like in her 30s. She is supposed to have been around for a minute, like not super old, but like yeah.
Who, Peggy?
Joan. Peggy's young.
Peggy's Joan. Yeah.
Joan's in.
Oh yeah, Joan. Joan's like 29. She's past her prime. She smokes all the cigarettes and tells the girls to push the titties up because these men, they gotta sell the cigarettes.
She hangs the pen directly at her tits so that, making you look at them. Yeah, we love it. We love Joan. We love Mad Men.
And here's a question for you. Do you think that I don't know why, again, I used edible style marijuana when I wrote these words into my phone, and then do the Others and the Babadook exist in the same universe?
There's validity. Wait, what was I thinking about the Babadook recently? There was Abby, remind me, we were watching something, and it made me think of the Babadook. Was it even this? Was it the Others?
See?
I mean, I know that the mom from the Babadook is on the Alien show on Hulu, but yeah. I mean, I don't really. Well, you know what? Because it is. No, you're right. Because the terror is an extension of like the horror. The source of it is a failure in motherhood, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, like it has like the Babadook. The action of I think it's the overall. Like they dial up terror a lot more than in the Others, and yet. The worst thing that could happen doesn't happen in the Babadook, and yet it happens in the Others.
Right. Yeah. The like the Others is if the Babadook won.
That's kind of what's so amazing about this movie and Nicole Kidman. I know it's like I'm a broken gay record, but it's like, holy shit! Do they make a movie where a woman murders her children, and then have us like yassing her the whole time, and like. Only Nicole Kidman. Who else would you put in that?
Yeah, no, nobody else could have. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, like I'm thinking maybe Kate Winslet, maybe like there's other, but you know, it would have been different. I mean, Nicole Kidman is so the correct thing. Like just like she's just perfect for this role. I mean, like she's what like I mean.
She acts just like her acting in this.
I think that the movie is so well written and conceived and constructed that any like decent actress, it would have been good. But I do think that because it's Nicole Kidman, it is great. It is like so worth like revisiting if you haven't watched it in years. Like I'm so happy that I spent some time with it this week, and now I'm going to have it in my physical media collection.
Oh, thank God that's back. We love buying things and getting them, and they're plastic, and they go on a shelf.
I love looking at my shelf of movies. I'm not even kidding. I will sometimes just look at it and just be like, "There's so many good movies here."
No, I mean, like, high key, I think about this a lot. It's, I went and visited some friends a few years ago whose family have a cabin in, like, a remote lake in Minnesota, right? And they have hotspot internet for your devices. You can check an email, you can get a call, but you can't stream. So what they've done is they've taken one of the rooms in their cabin and basically, like, they're filling it, it's just filled with, like, DVD and VHS, and it's like you go in there and you get to browse and pick out a movie. Like that very nostalgic Hollywood video blockbuster feeling.
That really annoying video that's been going around again recently of that really annoying house where that starts with the girl, like, have you seen it, where she like jumps down from the second floor on the rope and then she goes through like the disco ballroom and then you go
kind
there,
of, yeah.
And then they put a blockbuster in the house. But it's just like it just like is painted yellow. It has the Blockbuster logo, and there's a bunch of VHSs on the wall that have the old cases and everything. And it's just like bringing you back to that nostalgia place. Though it actually kind of sucked, is the thing. Blockbuster.
What did?
Blockbuster. I mean, like the late fees were ridiculous. Like it was so like I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I never returned it late.
Anyway,
couldn't be me. Here's one for the community and just you. Don't you find, like, if we're talking about like the nostalgia and kind of glamorizing physical media again, what do you think that if they found a way to make basically like cassettes, either for music or for visuals? If they found a way to like make them, you know, like high quality, like match the fidelity, even though there's a lot of like great information, especially in music and cassettes, obviously visually. But if they found a way to like make it so that it's good, and the rewinding situation doesn't become a thing. This is a lot of preempting to basically say in my dream world, I would much rather handle cassettes or VHS than compact discs of any kind. If they made them out of like a nice, like if they were a little heavier and felt a little more substantial, and you like place them into their bays and you got the product.
This is a real problem. This is a real problem with Blu-rays and especially 4K. 4K Ultra HD discs are expensive, and multiple times I have gotten them and they have some scratch or something on them on the 4K disc, and then it's.
And now is that? I'm sorry, I'm dumb. I don't have physical media. Is 4K? Is that a Blu-ray or is that a DVD format?
It's a Blu-ray format. It's just a UHD. It's like, and you have to have a 4K player, and you know, and your TV has to be able to play 4K. And it's just a higher level of fidelity. And
guys, 4K is a way of saying 4,000.
That's right. And it's like it's just it's twice as big as 1080p. It's 2160p.
Right, because famously 1080 times 2 is 4,000. I get it. Yeah.
And I just did, and that's on math.
That's upon math.
So yeah, they get scratched really easily, and the Blu-rays too. I mean, Blu-rays actually seem a bit more durable, I guess, but the 4K discs are getting so scratched. Actually, there's one more thing I want to talk about. The lighting in this movie is just like, you know, cinematography, like as an art form, is like all about light. It's just like capturing the light. It's all about the lighting and all that type of thing. And this movie, I mean, by building it into the narrative of these kids are allergic to light, that then when the moments that they want to let the light in, or that you do see the light spilling into the hall and stuff, and she's coming through, like you're actually like actively looking at this light, like as a force in the movie, just like the fog or something. It makes you really like think about and consider that in a way that movies typically don't, and it's like great, and it's all done so well. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about that, but just another thing I loved about the movie.
Yeah, no, the light thing is like once you kind of watch it, and I think the light analogy is probably one of the least graceful ones and most expected ones on a narrative level. However, like that's nitpicky.
Yeah, it's a bit convenient that they can only exist in spooky lighting. Yeah, I mean that it helps. It's an atmospheric movie, and that's doing a lot of lifting.
The sunlight in, we have the truth. Sure. And it's like, okay, big brain shit, but but like you said, using that light as like a physical thing that they have to battle the whole time,
right?
Until like the terror of having all the curtains gone,
and making them their imprisonment sort of feel even more real. That like you only see the kids in darkness or in candlelight, like they can't exist outside of that. It's just and so. I don't know. That's another thing is maybe just the kids are ghosts or something, and she's like holding on to their memories, and that's like there's a number of things that when you're watching it for the first time it could be, and for some reason it did surprise me. I mean, maybe.
And you're absolutely right. You know why? It's because Nicole Kidman. It's because they've created a situation where she is constantly the one reactive and being scared. So in our heads, we're saying there's no way in hell that she's the ghost, or she's a ghost as well. We're trying to figure out who else is a ghost, because she's the one being haunted. And so I think that keeps the twist really safe. Because we've never seen a situation where a ghost is scared,
and she is just and talk about like a hard thing to conceive of and play. Like she is so locked into the emotional reality of what she's going through at all times that you're not thinking about what does she serve. Whereas if it was a lesser actor, maybe you would. You're like, okay, well, why is she doing this? She's just so good. She's the best. That's our thesis statement for this episode and this chat. Nicole Kidman, good at acting. Very good.
This is an excellent performance of hers.
I think it's my second favorite after To Die For. I think it's To Die For, and then this.
I'll have to watch TDF.
Mm-hmm. I really love her performance. I mean, and I always like her in pretty much about everything. I mean, sometimes, oh my God, Alex, do you? Sorry, I'm just remembering another time that I had you on my stream to talk about a Nicole Kidman movie.
What?
Do you know what I'm thinking of?
You remember another Nicki Kids movie?
It's a certain movie from 2020, direct to Netflix musical, starring Meryl Streep and James Corden. And
when she was in Prom?
She is one of the prom. She's one of the friends. She has like one song that's like, she has the song that's like a sort of Fosse-esque number, I think. It was the most, at the time, we talked a lot about what a waste that was. Like, what did you do? I mean, there wasn't like, hey, she got paid, like, whatever. But like, why are you having Nicole Kidman do that anyway? It was kind of a
well, because they could. I mean, because they could.
Because Meryl called her up and was like, "They want to come do this."
It's like Netflix was pulling like a Riyadh situation, and it's like for some reason everyone's going to Saudi Arabia, and no one's going to say no. So no one's saying no. And I guess Netflix checks.
Who else
in 2020?
Who else was in it?
This was so bad.
Kerry Washington. Yeah, Keegan-Michael Key has the romantic relationship with Meryl Streep, of course, with Meryl Streep. Oh yeah, there's Meryl with the right here. Andrew Rannells is the other one that was with them. That was the foursome of the Broadway people that go to Ohio to do the gay prom or whatever stupid ass movie.
Wait, and who's the redhead?
The redhead is Meryl Streep.
Oh, that's Meryl. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, people don't know what we're looking at.
That looks like Christina Hendricks.
This is what we're talking about, everybody.
Who's the dark hair?
I like Andrew Rannells too, Source Force. Dark hair. This is Kerry Washington.
Oh, okay. It's just very. I can't. Yeah.
Keegan-Michael Key, Kerry Washington, Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep, James Corden, Andrew Rannells. Bad movie. Don't watch it. Don't watch it, people.
Oh, shocking. Was that Passing and Paul?
No, it's not. Pascal Compel did not do the music on this one, so they're free of blame for this one. But not Dear Evan Hansen. Well, Alex, this has just been the best time. I mean, we love talking about Nicole Kidman. I'm really excited for you to watch To Die For. I don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, or with whom. It might be a solo one again for me. Or Alex, you want to come back? You can come back anytime.
Well, I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. What are you saying?
I'm saying I don't know what I'm talking about next week, but or if I'm gonna have a guest, I might be solo again, like I was last week. Or if you want to come back, you're welcome anytime, Alex. Any week, you just let me know.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm not gonna give you homework every week. I'm just kidding.
No, I won't do it. But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for inspiring me to revisit this movie.
So good. It's so good. It's a gentle horror. It's beautiful. It's so well done. The performances are great. You're not going to get scared to death, but you are going to be.
You can watch this with your mom. Like you really could, or kids. Like that's the thing is, it's like it's a horror for the whole family. Like really, yeah. I mean, and it's in that classic ghost story. And one of my favorite.
It's all in the performances.
Exactly.
Everything that's scary.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and that's one of my favorite types of horror is when it's carried by the performances. I think The Fog was a lot of the Fog. Actually, last week they talked about they had to go in and add some gore back in because it was a little too, at least for that type of movie that was. I think it needed it a little bit there, but this is perfect. It's just like it's all the spookiness. And that's all good. And that's what this month's all about. So check out. Just follow me on these places. To see what we're going to be talking about next week. I'll announce that at some point. But yeah. Oh boy. Until next time, everybody, we'll see you at the movies. So, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Toronto, Cannes, Berlin, and Sundance, everybody chat about good movies, chat about good movies, chat about good movies. Good movies.